Hello, I'm Luke Nella and welcome to Best Replays of the Week. In this episode we have a wall of Soviet steel, an easy 8 in a hard fight, and Raphtorne being unleashed onto Fisherman's Bay. Let's find out what that means. Let's start by putting Soviet steel to the test as Nemanja 89 takes an IS-7 over to Ihaluf. The battle is an encounter on an American server with 4 top-tier machines on each side. Nemanja gets off to a strong start, with the opening shot securing the first kill of the match. But the Reds seem to have a strong position here in the northwest, and one of them even manages to dent the armor. Nemanja drives around to the side to casually wreck a couple of autoloaders before returning to the main fight. That Centurion is one of those rival tier 10s. Taking it out early is a priority, as it will make things a lot easier. An Indian Panzer isn't much of a threat, just another obstacle to be brushed aside. This Immel won't go down with a single shot, but a high-speed ram should be enough to finish the job. This is going almost too well for a steel wall, isn't it? Shells keep pinging off the IS for sure, but the theme seems to be Nemanja owning everything that comes into sight. Here's another tier 10. This time it's a dangerous foe, especially when backed up by a Scorpion gun. But someone else can finish it off, as Nemanja is more interested in dealing with the Scorpion. Now it's a wreck. Its carcass makes for a handy shield. Forward ho! A damaged gun adds to the challenge, but our steel wall lands their shots regardless. No problem. Time to forget clever tactics and charge. Forwards! It's not like they can stop an unkillable tank anyway. The Reds give it their best try, but we already know how this will go down, don't we? And indeed, once Nemanja gets into melee range, the squishy Borsig might as well just give up. That was almost too easy. 9k, both blocked and dished out, and with a respectable 7 kills. It's too bad the opponents ran out, as the IS-7 was still fit for battle. Well played, Nemanja. This week's Confederate is Jakova from the EU region, who drives out onto the Arctic region, armed with a T-25 Pilot No. 1. This love child of a Pershing and a T-20 excels in mobility, gun handling and rate of fire, at the expense of pretty much everything else. In theory, those traits should make it an excellent Confederate. Let's see how it performs as a bottom-tiered tank. The first clash goes well, in part because Jakova has stocked up on APCR shells, and otherwise because Jakova is just plain awesome. Fancy ammunition or not, the gun won't punch through an E-75's glacis. Captain America needs to find softer targets. Like a Scorpion Gur, perhaps? I guess not. After just a single shot, a rival T-25 punches the fuel tank, and a Jagdpanther 2 kills the radio operator. Mission abort! Time to play it safe. Jakova pokes around, pinpricking a tortoise, then harassing several TDs. That Object 252U is a hard nut to crack, but aha! Its TD buddy is made of softer stuff. The Object may be tough, but it has an Achilles heel. It didn't look like Jakova hit the turret ring, but the opponent's gun is frozen in place. Rage crit, maybe? I like to think so, but who can know for sure? Now it's time to play with everyone's favorite class, as a couple of artillery pieces receive some long-range love and attention. The Jagdpanther from before wants to start something, but it really shouldn't have. Arty time again. Hello! Yet another TD charges into its death. What's going on today? Well, that brings the enemies down to 2, and that tortoise has seen better days. After a spot of hesitation, Jakova decides to hell with it, and will take it out the old-fashioned way. Right, the last opponent is a massive artillery piece. Easy peasy. Jackafer lands 2 shots, but gets taken out in return. Oh. Well, the game has turned into a 2-on-1 artillery fight, which luckily doesn't last for long. GG. Nicely played, Jackafer. That was a great showing for a bottom-tiered medium tank, although being the last tank alive, then dying isn't a usual Confederate carry. Our sniper of the week is Raphtorne Unleashed, demonstrating the accuracy of the Rheinmetall Scorpion gun. The map is Fisherman's Bay, with the Scorpion in the middle of the list. Our sniper spends some time looking for a suitable vantage point, ready to snipe foes at 450 meters. This position is only good for another 2 shots, before it's time to find a new one. Hitting from more than half click away? Not a problem. Penetrating? A bit more of one. APCR fixes that though. Raphtorne is a true sniper, not pulling the trigger unless it's good. But at this range, a lot can go wrong. The distance drops down to 400 meters, so regular AP is what's needed. No need to be wasteful. Concerningly, the Reds are 3 points in the lead. This would be a good time to start notching up some kills. Raphtorne chambers the last APCR round, tracking several targets. Again, holding fire until the hit is all but guaranteed. Opportunity arrives to take out an SPG, but there is no time to swap ammunition. So be it. Regular AP makes this a bit more challenging. Then again, the ST-1 is closer this time, and our sniper knows exactly where to place the shot. That evens out the score. It's time to go hunting the remaining ones. Boom! Headshot. The next target is in the city. Our sniper would prefer to engage from long range, but that's not on the cards here. Peekaboo will have to do. Just 2 T-28 variants to go now. The first clash is a little ugly, but our sniper can afford to burn some hit points at this stage of the game. The premium version gets a shot in as well. And then another. But it doesn't matter, the Scorpion soaks up the damage, finishing the game with a Top Gun kill. That was quite a show. Raphtorne Unleashed picked each long-range shot like a true sniper. It clearly works, as we can see from the 16 out of 16 accuracy. Let's follow Deadeye Precision with some full-on mayhem on the Asian server. Our champion is Asmania 3000 in command of a Struve M42-57 Alt A2. The battleground, as you can see, is Sand River. Here we go. Asmania drives to the top of a sand dune and opens fire. The results are a little underwhelming at first, but the second volley begins to show promise. The Swedish autoloader keeps up a steady drumbeat, bringing in the second kill before long. With impeccable timing, the next victim comes into view as soon as the reload is done. Nice! The rest of the team aren't doing so great, but that's how you get to be Top Gun. A rival Struve goes down with an exchange of shots, but Asmania will have to watch those hit points. Stop it! Seriously? Help me! Whew. Luckily, the last ally comes to the rescue of our Top Gun, or this would have been over, as there's 6 Reds to kill and only 77 hit points remaining. And that's 1. Asmania dodges SPGs who give it their best but can't even splash our Top Gun. That's 2. 4 to go. As Sal 40 gets the drop on us, but RNGesus is not with them, and Asmania turns it around. Here's the last TD. But what about those pesky arty? Probably best to deal with them first. The Bishop makes things nice and easy. But before the second one can be found, a Churchill gun carrier comes into view. as Mania unloads the rest of the magazine into the TD before intelligently disengaging and resuming the arty hunt. There it is. And although one shot misses, the grill is still doomed. That gun carrier does manage to get a shot off, but when it misses, it is known that the game is over. GG. Not bad at all. 10 kills, respectable damage for the tier, a 1 vs 6 endgame, and although an ally had to save the day early on, it was still a solid Top Gun performance by Asmania. And now it's time for the episode finale, a crucial contribution from the American servers. Our champion is Spiritus Vitae, who commands an Easy 8 at the Siegfried line. The Tier 6 Sherman is a nice medium tank, but how much can it do against Tier 8s? Only fools rush in, especially bottom tier fools. So Spiritus creates a bit of cover and waits for customers. First up, the Struve. A cautious duel goes on for a while until our hero shows the spirit of light and heads into town. Ah, an Oni! Now, beating this piñata would be fun, but a T-32 spoils the game. Spiritus drills another hole into the Struve before driving off to ambush the big American. Look at this! A few well-aimed shots are enough to doom the powerful heavy tank. The Swedish machine tries to resume the duel, but Spiritus isn't interested and drives away into town. Instead, the Easy 8 takes the fight to more enemy heavies, with good results. The VK wants to avenge its fallen comrades, but this is a fight it's not going to win. Now it seems the town is eerily quiet, with the remaining combatants dispersed to the outer edges. This mighty Ferdinand was too slow, and takes a few shots to its side for it. Afterwards, Spiritus Vitae even manages to put a T-26E5 down for the count. So that's why the Ferdy was looking the other way. It's dealing with a comet. Well, it just became the meat in an allied sandwich. Damn, the teammate is done for, but their sacrifice wasn't in vain. Once again, it has come down to this. One surviving tank against a pair of self-propelled guns. The Hummel is soon found and quickly disposed of. But the American SPG tries to be clever. However, only manages to make itself an easier kill. It's over. What can I say? Impressive work from the bottom tier med. Lefverslaghod's medals are rare for a good reason. That's all for this episode. No mouse this week. That was the biggest surprise for me. Anyway, I'm Luke Nella. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.